Amen. Please be seated.
Thank you very much. Dr. Dogwe is a rep from the National Peace Council. We thank you for that prayer to start us off. At this point, we will introduce the chair of the event, who happens to be the acting chair of the party, Mr. Smith Dankwa Bute, to give his opening remarks and acceptance of the role. Mr. Chairman.
Before we have him call. Kukrudu. 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 Your Excellency Nanado Dankwa Ekufuado, IGP, and your entourage. Madam Chief of Staff, former Chief of Staff, Dr. Hackman Osu Ajiman, Council Chairman, Markin Apanyo, Minority Leader, my Chairman, Committee for Elections, Council members present, aspirants, media, all protocol observed. It is my honor and privilege to welcome all to this important occasion. Today is more than gathering to witness the signing of Pact among our presidential aspirants. It is a testament to new patriotic party enduring commitment to democratic governance, internal reform, and the values that have long guided our great party. As the presidential primaries election enters the home stretch, it is important for us all to remind of the fact that each of the 5 aspirants qualifies to bear the flag for the party. But only one of them will be chosen. That means that we should all committed to supporting whoever emerges the winner next week, in the collective interest of the party. I'm sorry to see that His Excellency President Ejikun Kufuor was invited. Unfortunately, he is not well, so he couldn't come. President Ekufuado and Nanado, the two of them, the two former presidents in our midst, Kufuor didn't come, so my father is in our midst. And both of them were through the same process of committing to supporting the eventual winner. In fact, President Kufuor and President Ekufuado at a point contested against each other. Yet when the winner was chosen, both they both work together, and today history has taught us that they have both their successful terms at the presidency. The same can apply to all 5 of you seated here. The presence of all 5 aspirants here today gives me hope and comfort that you will all follow this tradition of the party. That is, support fully and wholeheartedly the winner of next week rise, and I believe posterity can to the rest of you in the future. For us at the national level, we are committed, determined, and ever ready to ensure a free, fair, transparent process without any bias. And we have absolutely confidence in the commitment we impelled to see the process. I therefore urge all stakeholders to be patient and allow the committee, the police, the electoral commission to complete their final phase of this very important process. Before taking my seat, I wish to use the opportunity to appeal to supporters of the 5 aspirants to engage with open mind and patriotic heart. Let us debate respectfully, listen attentively, move forward together with unity and prosper and purpose without insult. Let's put the party interests first above all the individual interests. I say this, and again, say that we, the executive of the party, are committed, fully committed. We are not going to allow anybody in the party to destroy the good work of our committee. I commend the committee for the good work done, but I still want more. We need peace. From today, the day that we will vote, cast our votes, and after the voting. I think that any of you, or the 5, who emerges a winner, will try as much as possible to bring the 4 together so that we can make this party forward as we all willing to do. Thank you, and may God bless you all. God bless NPP. God bless Ghana. Thank you.
Thank you very much. On the back of that powerful and galvanizing message of our acting chairman, we will sing our party's national anthem. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a very party anthem. It is a very inspiring, brief national party anthem, so you don't have to do too much to be able to sing it. So I invite all our invited guests, if you feel it, join us, if you may. But Forson, if you can key the party anthem for me. It's very simple. We are the new patriotic party. The elephant is our winning symbol, and we shall win 2028 to save Ghana. Party, we are the new patriotic party. The elephant is our winning symbol. We shall win to save Ghana. Elephants are winning symbol. We shall win to save Ghana. We shall win to save Ghana. We shall win to save Ghana. The elephants are winning symbol. We shall win to save Ghana. Elephants are winning symbol. We shall win to save Ghana. Hey! Hey! She rado, rado, rado. She rado, rado, rado. Thank you very much. That was easy. It was very inspiring. I saw everybody singing it with laughter because this is what the future is about. Thank you very much so far. I invite my colleague, Dr. Antoinette Chibudako, to take you through this first half of the program. Thank you.
Thank you, Richard. So we'll just continue with acknowledgement of dignitaries that joined us just before we started. With a round of applause, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, our dear aspirants, help me to welcome His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, our former president. Your Excellency, thank you very much for joining us this morning. We'd also like to welcome Honorable Akusia Frema Osei Opari, the first female Chief of Staff of Ghana, who is also a chairperson for our Council of Patrons of the New Patriotic Party. Thank you very much for joining us, Mami. Also at the high table, we would like to acknowledge the presence of our own chairman of the Council of Elders, Honorable Hackman Owusu Ademan. We have heard from our acting national chairman of this event, and would like to, of course, a round of applause for my boss and the General Secretary of the New Patriotic Party, Lawyer Justin Kodia-Frempong. Once again, we recognize the presence of the chairperson of the Presidential Elections Committee, Chairman Joseph Osei Usu. And then, of course, Osahene, the Alexander Fenyumakin, the strong minority leader of Parliament. Thank you all very much. We know the times that we are in. Our aspirants have graced this occasion with their presence. And if they were not here, this August occasion would definitely not have been possible. So I would mention their name, we would give them a round of applause. Just a symbol, a token of our deep appreciation for joining us here this morning. Number one on the ballot is Honorable Kennedy Ohene Ejakon. Thank you for joining us, Honorable. Number two on the ballot is the Honorable Dr. Brian Ichampong. Number three on the ballot is His Excellency Dr. Mahamadou. Dr. Yao Osei Educhun. And number five on the ballot is Engineer Kwabena Eje Ejakon. So once again, our aspirants, congratulations for coming this far. We are honored to have you join us today, and we crave your indulgence that you stay with us until we finish this program successfully. Thank you all very much. Without much ado, let me invite to the podium the first Deputy Speaker of the 8th Parliament and former member of the Choir, Honorable Joseph Osei Usu, who is a chairperson for the Presidential Elections Committee.
Your Excellency, Nana Addo Akufo-Addo, former president, Madam Osei Opari, Frema Osei Opari, Honorable Dr. Hackman Osu-Agyemang, Chairman of the Council of Elders, and members of the Council of Elders, IGP Yohonu, and the entire team, members of the Council of Peace, or the Peace Council, National Peace Council, contestants, permit me to call you today the team of saints, the 5 members of the team of saints. Colleagues, the Presidential Election Committee, national officers, party members, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I think it is appropriate at this point to apologize to 2 sets of people, members of the National Peace Council and police, because they are the only guests, so to speak, that we invited to join us. But we gave them 11 o'clock. We delayed so much. Kindly forgive us. We could have done, we should have done better than this. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the main purpose of this peace pact is to get the contestants to affirm that the process has so far been transparent, inclusive, and fair. That we want them to commit to accept the results and want them to commit to support whoever wins out of the 5 members of the team of saints. We believe that this will allow or enable members of the party to build the sufficient confidence we need to be able to freely campaign and vote for who they choose. Our faith and prayer is that this pact will be taken seriously as a pact, a binding act between them, the team of saints, the party, and our God. I pray that at the end of it all, the New Patriotic Party will come out of this stronger and ready to face 2020 general elections. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Joseph Osei Owusu. I'd like to now invite the former Speaker of the 6th Parliament of Ghana and 2-time MP for Dome Kwabenya, the Right Honorable Professor Mike Aaron Okwi. Prof will give us a message on peace and the electoral process within the New Patriotic Party.
The acting chairman of our party, Mr. Bute, popularly known as Chairman Bute, former President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, Chief of Staff, Dr. Hackman Osu-Agyemang, Honorable and Chairman of the Council of Elders, our distinguished elders, duly seated, Honorable Osei Owusu, Chairman of the Presidential Elections Committee, and your good members who have worked so tirelessly to make us reach this stage, General Secretary of the party, and other party officials here present, the IGP, EC representatives, National Peace Council members, our distinguished minority leader, Honorable Afenyo Makin, his leadership, as well as former ministers and honorable members of parliament, past and present, our distinguished contestants. It's a pleasure to be part of this meeting. I can't say We have recognized you all as Adishie. The stool is vacant, and we know one of you is going to be elected as a candidate, as a president. And we shall all pray that we shall be united and fight together behind the one who emerged. I recognize you all, and I pledge, together with my colleagues, to work together that our fourth flag bearer of the NPP will lead us to victory in the ensuing election. I worked closely with our late senior brother C.K. Tedam in the evening of his life. He had one positive refrain for all of us. It echoes as such: united we stand, divided we fall. I pray and I plead with my contesting younger brothers. And for that matter, we must have faith in you. In the name of Dankwa, Dombo, Busia, Bechebilamte, Ametowobla, and the faithfuls departed, please do something honorable for the new patriotic party and our tradition. In saying this, I am mindful that unfair practices and based happens in our party which have destroyed or shaken our unity. And this is the very reason why last time round when we were going to Congress, the Presidential Election Committee of 2024, as well as the present group led so ably by our former Deputy Speaker, came to certain positive arrangements. Such elections are no more the preserve of the party per se. Security is national police security, not that of any party security. This is now established. There is an IPAC created also by the party. That is the internal intra-party advisory committee. They have worked together so far with the contestants or their representatives. It means after the event, the victor is the victor. A credible register has been compiled as duly established. The police are present here, and we are glad they are. Just to underscore the point that we are not doing a secret election in any corner. It is open, transparent, and there will be no cause to complain at the end of the exercise. Everything has been done with collegiality and conviviality, as has now become a blueprint duly established and duly located at the party head office for posterity. And we trust that by the end of the exercise, we shall all be glad and continue to be members of one united family to work for victory for our beloved party. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, this is a very important event to underscore the fact that nothing is happening by chance. nor reckless in any manner. The National Peace Council officials all have become part of this public event. We trust that by the power of the Almighty, our purpose will be achieved through the conduct of these good gentlemen. We thank you very much in the name of the tradition that gave birth to democracy in this country, Ghana. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Prof. Message. Coming from an icon, we didn't expect any less. At this point, I'd like to once again acknowledge the presence of the members of the National Peace Council. Just to tell you, we are honored and we are very grateful that you have joined us. Nana Ifa Painting, thank you. Bishop Hilad Dobe, thank you. Sheikh Arimeyal Shaibu, thank you. Madame Georgette Francois, thank you. Dr. George Amu, the Executive Secretary, thank you. And Mr. Frank Boja, Director for Conflict Resolution, thank you. We truly appreciate your presence in joining us. Please a round of applause for us. Our acting national chairman has spoken, so would invite the General Secretary of the New Patriotic Party, Lawyer Justin Frimpong Kodia, to give us his statement. Thank you.
Thank you. Our acting national chairman, Chairman Smith Dankwa-Pute, our revered former president, His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, our mother, former chief of staff, our chairman of the National Council of Elders, Dr. Hakmo Rajiman, our leader in parliament, minority leader, Osanhe Afenyo-Markin, our IGP and your men, reps or members of the National Peace Council, our fathers and mothers of the National Council of Elders, colleague national officers, our dear aspirants, ladies and gentlemen, we are witnessing a very important day. It has been termed the peace path, but I will refer to it as a commitment path. The commitment on the part of our aspirants to affirm that indeed they are true patriots, and after January 31st, they will still continue to be true patriots. That is what we refer to as commitment path. Indeed, our constitution is very clear, and all of us here, irrespective of our positions, are governed by our constitution. Sitting down and looking at our Council of Elders, once upon a time, some of them had the ambition to lead this great party of ours. They went through the contest. They didn't win, but they never forgot that they are members of the New Patriotic Party. And today, they are not former presidents. They are not former presidential aspirants, but they are members of our National Council of Elders. So to our 5 aspirants, as you all know, we are going to a contest. Certainly one of you will emerge, not just as a winner, but to take the mantle of leading us to the greater battle in 2028. But the remaining 4, that shall not be the end of your life. Just as you have seen our revered Council of Elders here, maybe one day you will also become Council of Elders of our great party. That's the beauty of democracy. In our quest to ensure that we have a free, fair, and transparent elections, the National Council constituted what we refer to as the Presidential Elections Committee, chaired by our revered Honorable Joseph Oseus. And I'm happy that all the 5 aspirants, wherever they stand, they have commended the work that has been done by the Presidential Elections Committee. Again, I also commend my colleague national officers. We may have interests, we may have preference, but we have been able to manage ourselves very well, so to the extent that none of us has publicly been seen endorsing any of the presidential aspirants. And kudos to our national officers also. Acting Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, for every elections, what every aspirant expects is to see a free, fair, and transparent elections. And indeed, by conduct, at least by the Presidential Elections Committee, we can all attest to it that even in the compilation of the album, which is supposed to be the work of the Presidential Elections Committee, in order to ensure transparency and fairness, our aspirants have been involved from day one in compiling the album for the election, which is to guarantee free and fair election come January 31st. Again, also, with respect to security, I'm happy our revered IGP is here. What is important for us as a party is to make sure that aspirants, voters, and even those who have a role to play on January 31st will be able to do their work in a free, fair, and secure manner. And we are sure the IGP and his men will guarantee us total peace and security in all our voting centers. So IGP, I will not do your work for you, but I want to use this medium to send a strong caution to any person in our party or outside our party who has any intention of discrediting or trying to mar the beauty of our democracy come January 31st, that be careful, that on that day, the IGP and his men will apprehend anybody who tries to cause chaos on January 31st. Mr. Chairman, I cannot take my seat by also making this important comment to our aspirants. Please, all of you should understand that none of you alone, even when you win, can secure us victory in 2020. And therefore, you will need the support of your brothers to be able to win the elections in 2028. And therefore, let us not see that this is just a fair contest. This is a contest of just how to show that have the support in the party. Whether you have the support or not, when you win January 31st, you will still need our brothers to carry you on for us to win the elections in 2028. And I can assure you that as administrator of the party, every support that we need to give to all our aspirants, and even after the elections, the process of reconciliation to bring everybody on board, you can trust us that we are fully prepared and ready to support you to make sure that we rally ourselves together to fight for the victory in 2020. Thank you very much, and God bless us all.
Thank you very much, General Secretary. Would now like to invite the first female Chief of Staff of Ghana. She's now the former Chief of Staff, and she's in the person of Honorable Frema Akusia Osei Opare.
The former President of the Republic of Ghana, His Excellency Nana Addo Akufo-Addo, our Acting National Chairman, Mr. Dankwa Smith-Bute, the General Secretary and leadership of the New Patriotic Party, the IGP and his team, the Chairman of Council of Elders, Honorable Hackman Owusu-Agyemang, the Minority Leader, Honorable Osahene Afenyo Markin, the presidential candidates of the New Patriotic Party, representatives of the National Peace Council, and sorry for my omission, I should have acknowledged our former first Deputy Speaker of Parliament and Chairman of the Presidential Elections Committee earlier on, Honorable Joseph Osei Wusu. Distinguished party members, I'm delighted to be part of the signing ceremony of the Presidential Elections Peace Pact, as we commit to peace, unity, transparency, free, fair, and credible elections. I bring you warm greetings from the National Council of Patrons and commend all the 5 aspirants and your representatives for agreeing to sign the peace covenant. In the past few months, all 5 of you have been trekking and crisscrossing the nooks and crannies of our country, canvassing for votes and energizing the base of our party. The National Council of Patrons acknowledges the difficulties involved, energy required, and the resources committed towards this endeavor. Now, in less than 10 days, the highly anticipated 2026 NPP Presidential Primaries will take place across the country, and we all have a duty to remain united afterwards. Distinguished presidential candidates, in my work as the chairperson of the party's Conflict Resolution Committee from 2010 to 2020, it became clear that our electoral losses, both in parliamentary and presidential elections, can be largely linked to the many internal conflicts within the party and our inability to heal faster. We are unable to forgive ourselves, reconcile, and move on after our internal elections. The National Council of Patrons admonishes that under no circumstance should the choice of the delegates in any of our internal elections degenerate into irreconcilable disagreement, knowing that most of the positions in MPP remain elective positions. This peace pact that we are about to sign today is not only for aspirants and delegates, but also for all of us as MPP members and sympathizers. Therefore, the need for all aspirants to educate and encourage their supporters to see this important election as a time-tested tradition of our party. And we are all required to come together to prosecute the 2028 election. We need all hands on deck to win 2028. I urge whoever emerges victorious to embrace all other contestants and their supporters in a meaningful way by making them an integral part of the campaign at all levels. As the famous Mother Teresa said, if we have no peace, it is because we have forgotten that we belong to each other. Ladies and gentlemen, let the country, the region, the constituency, polling station feel that we, the great Elephant Party, is indeed united. We are focused and disciplined for victory 2028. I thank you for your kind attention.
Thank you very much, Auntie Ferma. She's also the chairperson of the Council of Patrons for the New Patriotic Party. And now I'd like to invite one of our dignitaries and invited guests, a representative of the National Peace Council, to give us a short statement. Thank you. With a round of applause, please let us welcome Nana.
Good afternoon. As you've been told, my name is Nana Efapinti. I'm the Paramount Chief of Bompata in Ashanti, and I have unqualified pleasure to make this statement on behalf of the National Peace Council. Our immediate past president is Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, the acting national chairman of the New Patriotic Party, the chairman of Council of Elders, the chairman of the Presidential Elections Committee, the IJP, the flag bearer aspirants, the general secretary, the functional executives, friends from the media, ladies and gentlemen. It is an honor for the National Peace Council to participate in this historic meeting by the New Patriotic Party family to sign a peace pact as a key measure to safeguard the peace of the party and by extension the peace of the nation in the lead up to the very important election ahead to elect a flag bearer to contest the 2028 general elections. Honorable Chairman, I extend the full compliment of the Chairman, Most Reverend Emmanuel Kofi Fiano, and the entire National Peace Council to the NPP for taking this significant step to ensure peace before, during, and after the 31st of January elections. The Council wishes to commend the NPP for demonstrating good democratic tenet to be the first political party to internalize Peace Pact, modeling the Peace Council-led Presidential and Parliamentary Peace Pact, which has now become a key component of Ghana's general elections. The message you are sending with this democratic exercise is that internal party cohesion is directly in sync with national resilience and unity. This enduring legacy of exploring non-violent means to address intra-party conflicts is an assurance to sustain the peace within the party leadership and supporters, and ultimately strive for progress and development of our country, Ghana. Ladies and gentlemen, any contest for a vacant position will naturally generate conflicts. Conflicting opinions are normal in human life. In your case, 5 people are contesting for one position. Conflict experts will tell you that any situation of this nature will naturally attract conflict dynamic. The pursuit of incompatible interests, values, goals, among others, between 2 or more parties is what we mean by conflict. In this context, the ideas of 5 different people in the pursuit of one vacant position of a flag bearer to lead the party could not be the same. However, the ability of these different people to rise above personal interest and accept the winner and choose the path of peace for the collective good of the party and the country will then show the resilience and preparedness of the party to contribute positively to the country's democracy. It is also important for all stakeholders of the party to play their role in a manner that assures the candidates fairness and credibility that leave no doubt for acceptance or rejection of the outcome of the elections. The National Peace Council is hopeful that you will contribute to building an internally strong party-based foundation of trust and confidence in a system that will leave an indelible mark on Ghana's democratic process. The Council urges the candidates to submit themselves to the remedial measures that the party has put in place in the Pact to be signed today. In the event that any or all of the 4 contestants who will not be successful in the January 31 elections are dissatisfied with any of the steps in the elections, please use the laid down party mechanisms, including the mechanisms in the Peace Pact, to address grievances. The one successful person must also be gracious and magnanimous, and remember the African proverb that says that if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go together. Remember that violence has never been the solution to addressing grievances anywhere on the planet. It can only escalate it. The National Peace Council assures the NPP and all political parties in the country that we are available to facilitate mechanisms to make political parties stronger and resilient to serve the country. Once again, the National Peace Council wishes you a successful delegates conference on 31st January 2026. God bless the NPP. God bless all our political parties. God bless our whole land, Ghana. I thank you for your attention.
Ghana Police, Mr. Christian Tete Yohunu, to give us a statement.
The acting chairman of the New Patriotic Party, the former president of the Republic of Ghana, His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, the chairman of the Presidential Elections Committee, the General Secretary of the NPP, the Minority Leader of Parliament, the former Chief of Staff, representatives of the National Peace Council, the Chairperson, National Council of Elders, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Will be solely handled by the Ghana Police Service. We want to assure you that we have been able to identify all the areas where the elections will take place. We have 276 plus 1 polling centers. We have been able to make our operational plans. We have met all our regional commanders who are responsible for these areas where these elections will take place. We have gone over all the preparations over and over and ready to go to the field. In the section of Boku, that is the area that we may need the support of the military. And so we have written to the Interior Minister to inform the Minister of Defense so that we have military support in Boku. All other areas countrywide, the military will be on standby. We are assuring you that at least 70 is the least number of a police number that will be at each police station. We have deployed heavily. All senior officers countrywide are going to be at the police station. we have the inner deployment, the middle deployment, and then the outer deployment. The outer deployment is heavily loaded. I want to assure you that we have done a lot of training and preparation, and that my regional commanders have called me and said that they are even ready for the election today. As the caution has been given by the General Secretary, the caution is that we will not entertain any parasecurity at the police station. We have heard a lot, social media and others. And sometimes some of the leaders of the party have forwarded some voices to me to let me know that some group of individuals are planning to deploy macho men. Please, we are cautioning that the police are more macho than the macho men you deploy. And that when it comes to the stage, that these macho men will not take advice from the caution that is given them. And they come to the police station and then we arrest them. I'm pleading. Nobody should call me. The word is that police is ready. And so we are giving you all the assurance that we'll do our work peacefully and then we'll contribute heavily to make sure that at the end of the day, the one you want to be the presidential candidate who you want to let the person stand for the NPP party will come out victoriously under a peaceful security arrangement. And so, Honorable Chair, the police want to thank you for reposing this confidence in us, that you want the police to do this security, to provide a security. And we are happy to come here in our numbers, because what is happening today is about signing of peace pact. And because we are peace officers, that is why we have come here in our numbers. All that we want is that there should be peace, so that at the end of the day, everything will go on successfully, and we shall all enjoy the fruits of the exercise that we have gone through. Thank you very much, and God bless everybody as we prepare for this one. Thank you.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen of the Ghana Police Service, Mr. Christian Tete Yohumu, thank you very much for your strong message. We are the new patriotic party, and our party is built on tradition, value, and respect. And therefore, our revered elders have joined us here today. Honorable Dr. Adokufo, Honorable Stanley Lee Blankson, Engineer Dr. Kwesi Abiesi, Professor Aaron Michael Quay, Sheikh I.C. Quay, Madam Mary Posh Pedro, and Hajia Aisha Jebuni. Thank you very much for taking time to join us today. A round of applause for our revered Council of Elders. And on that note, I'd like to invite the chairman of the Council of Elders, Honorable Hakman Owusu Ajimai, to give us his message. Thank you.
Thank you. The acting chairman of our party, our revered former President, Excellency Nana Akufo-Addo, chairman of the Committee that put all these actions together. Madam Freeman, Chairman of the Council of Patrons, the Chairman of the party and the leader of our leader in Parliament, Honorable Sewusu, our friends and colleagues, contestants, my colleagues, members of the National Council of Elders, may I respectfully also acknowledge the National Peace Council and their representatives and my former ambassador to the United States. But most interestingly, I'd like to welcome our friends, the peace officers. They are super macho men, so that's very good. We are delighted that you are here, and all our colleagues. At the very outset, yesterday we had the privilege of being briefed by the chairman of the Parliamentary Presidential Election Committee, and we were pleased with the actions that have been taking place under their guidance. So allow me to commend the Presidential Elections Committee for the work they have done so far. From all indications, they have discharged their mandate with diligence, fairness, and transparency. This is not an easy task. And as elders of the party, we acknowledge and appreciate their efforts. They deserve our collective confidence and support as they bring this crucial process to its conclusion. The distinguished ladies and gentlemen, elections by their very nature are some emotional events. We are all human, and it is natural that passions may run high, especially after the declaration of the results. However, we must all accept the fundamental truth. At the end of the process, there will be only one winner. The peace, stability, cohesion of our party will largely depend on how we, especially the candidates, conduct themselves after the primaries. The processes leading to this point have been fair and transparent. We therefore appeal strongly to all the candidates to remain absolute in their confidence in the Presidential Elections Committee and the established institutions, including the Ghana Police Service. There's no need for private security arrangement. Trust in the system that we have collectively built over the years, which is essential for preserving peace and order. And for that, I say, if any of you have any macho groups, have any people who are going to give us problems, I say, dismantle them now. Dismantle them now. From 1992, we have always conducted our internal elections without problems. And I'm hopeful that this time too, it will be the same. So whatever you have, which is contrary to the regulations, please dismantle them. You are people, you are party people, our nephews, please dismantle them. We further plead with all the candidates to refrain from making accusations against the committee or the party after the elections. Such actions, particularly when emotions are high, can undermine confidence in the party and erode the unity we have worked so hard to build. Leadership demands responsibility, restraint, and a commitment to the greater good of the party. The ceremony and the memorandum of understanding to be signed today are therefore not mere formalities. No, they represent a solemn pledge on your part to place the party above the individual ambition. The party is supreme. It is through this party that we have produced President of the Republic, and implemented policies that have transformed lives across the nation. None of us is bigger than our party. We are mindful that tensions may also arise among supporters. This is natural in any competitive contest. However, candidates and leaders, as candidates and leaders, you bear special responsibility to calm your supporters and not inflame passions. Words spoken and actions taken in moments of tension can have lasting and damaging consequences. True leadership is demonstrated not only in victory, but also how disappointment is managed. Let us therefore, by our conduct before, during, and after the primaries, demonstrate to the people of Ghana and the international community that our party is committed to peace, unity, internal democracy, and respect for the rule of law. Let us protect the image of our party at all times, regardless of the outcomes. As elders, our colleagues are saying, our appeal is simple. Our appeal is simple, sincere. Remain united, remain disciplined, and remain committed to the ideals upon which our great party was founded. If we do so, we will emerge from this process stronger, more cohesive, and better positioned for the task ahead. I'd like to thank you all, and I wish all the candidates the best of luck. On behalf of the National Council of Benin, God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, our chairperson for the National Council of Elders. We crave your indulgence. We are almost done with all our goodwill messages and statements from our dignitaries. We'd now like to invite the minority leader in Parliament, Honorable Alexander Afenyomarkin.
Acting National Chairman of our party, Excellency Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo, former President of the Republic, Chair Council of Elders, Chair Council of Patrons, Chair Presidential Elections Committee, the IGP and members of the Police Management Board, members of the Peace Council, Presidential Aspirants, Council of Elders, national officers, colleague leaders in Parliament, and members of the Minority Caucus, patrons, and members of the media. Let me start off by saying that opposition is painful and lonely. We know this. Good friends don't pick up calls. They ignore us, and they find new friends. We are living it. We feel it every day, and surely none of us wants to remain there. We want power to serve, to transform lives, and to move Ghana forward. But power does not come through division. Power comes through discipline. Power comes through unity. Power comes through sacrifice. Let us therefore rise above anger. Let us rise above insults. Let us rise above short-term emotions for long-term victory. Let us protect the party that has given us voice, purpose, and hope. And when the contest is over, let us close ranks, lock arms, and march forward together, stronger, wiser, and united towards victory 2028. Our future depends on it. Our party depends on it, and Ghana is counting on us. Acting Chair, colleagues here gathered, political competition is a necessary and healthy feature of every democracy. However, it is how that competition is managed, particularly in moments of heightened ambition and strong emotion, that defines the maturity of a political party and ultimately the stability of the nation. Internal party elections are not merely contests among individuals. They are tests of institutional strength, discipline, and commitment to shared values. The choice to focus on peace at this stage is therefore both timely and commendable. Peace does not happen by accident. It is the product of deliberate leadership, clear rules, mutual respect, and a collective decision to place the long-term interests of the party and the country above short-term personal gain. Ghana's democracy has been sustained over the years because political actors across party lines have repeatedly demonstrated restraint in movements that could easily have descended into conflicts. This reputation has not come cheaply. It must not be taken for granted. Distinguished aspirants, your supporters look to you not only for vision and policy ideas, but for cues on conduct. The tone you set will be a tone that filters down to the grassroots. When leaders speak with restraint, supporters listen with restraint. I humbly, therefore, on behalf of the mighty 87 in Parliament, urge all aspirants to conduct their campaigns with civility, respect for internal regulations, and unwavering commitment to peaceful engagements. Disagreements are inevitable in any competitive process, but they must be managed through dialogue, established mechanisms, and the authority of the party's institutions, not through public confrontation, insinuation, or rhetorics that deepen divisions. Today is not an ordinary party ritual. It is a test of leadership and patriotism. This peace pact is not only about who wins on January 31st. It is about whether on 1st February and beyond, the NPP will still be strong, united, and credible in the eyes of Ghanaians. Ghana is watching a party that has, at its best, delivered significant reforms. Talk of the free SHS, talk of the health insurance, talk of the industrialization drive, 1D, 1F. Ghana is also watching a party that is anxious, polarized, and yearning for competent, honest, visionary leadership again. The stakes are higher than the ambitions of any single aspirant in this room. Unity and the cause of division. Let's note, the history of this tradition teaches us a simple truth. Whenever the NPP is united, it is formidable, and whenever it is divided, it bleeds, and Ghana pays the price. Remember the 1979 election, the PFP and the UNC. The rest we all know. Factionalism may energize internal contests, but it weakens the party's capacity to win national election and to govern effectively. And I was saddened hearing that the respected Professor Frimpong Boateng saying publicly that he did not vote in 2024 elections. This is what division can do to us. It's unfortunate. Unity is not a slogan. Unity is conduct. It is a discipline to disagree without destroying one another. The humility to accept outcomes we may not like, and the maturity to place the national project above personal disappointment. Every single insult traded, every unsubstantiated allegation, every attempt to demonize a rival today becomes a weapon in our opponent's hand tomorrow. At this delicate moment, the internal division heralding the 31st January contest are not confined within the walls of this party. They spill over into the nation's governance. A fractured NPP does not only risk losing another election, it weakens Parliament's ability, especially the mighty minority's ability, to stand as a bulwark against excesses, impunity, and bad governance. When leading figures are at war with each other, when energies are spent on intra-party skirmishes instead of national oversight, the NDC government and the majority in parliament are given a free pass. As your caucus in parliament is determined to repeat the industry of the J.H. Mensah 1997 group of 61, we must say that our ability to act with vigilance, cohesiveness, and fearlessness in holding the current administrative to account shall materially depend on the unity that we carry to do our work in Parliament. That duty will be undermined when indeed the internal contest is poisoned by mistrusts, name-calling, and threats of retribution. A house divided at the grassroots and in the leadership ranks cannot be a formidable opposition in Parliament. Every time party actors choose internal sabotage over solidarity, they blunt the sharp edge of the minority's oversight. When committees need unified backing to investigate corruption, when critical votes demand tight coordination, and when national crises call for clear, united voice, internal fractures translate into parliamentary weakness. Let no one deceive themselves. The divisions surrounding this primary go beyond party offices. They risk crippling the mighty minority's collective and effective ability to check the Mahama administration and the majority in Parliament. If this primary becomes a festival of insult instead of a contest of ideas, if it leaves behind bitterness instead of brotherhood, then the real victor will not be any aspirant on this stage. The real victor will be a complacent government and a comfortable majority who knows that a divided NPP cannot credibly challenge them on corruption, economic hardship, and institutional decay. As presidential hopefuls, you are not just candidates. You are standard bearers of the NPP tradition. Your words can inflame or calm. Your body language can reconcile or rupture. Before January 31st, your responsibility, my dear aspirants, is to campaign on ideas, record, and vision, not on insult, threats, and division. Your teams must be guided by discipline in their messaging and respect in their engagements. On 31st January, you must submit fully to the agreed processes, respect the Electoral Committee, obey security directives, and ensure your supporters avoid intimidation, vote buying, and violence. After January 31st, your obligation is to accept the verdicts of the delegate with dignity, whether it favors you or not, and to work publicly and unequivocally with the elected flag bearer. A peace pact that ends with signatures, but not with changed behavior, is a betrayal of this moment and of Ghana. If this peace pact is to have meaning, it must translate into clear commitments. 1, refrain from personal attacks and character assassination, focusing instead on policies and competence and vision, to reject violence, intimidation, and any ethnic or regional incitement, to use internal party mechanisms, not public warfare, to resolve grievances, to stand together with elected flag bearer within days of the result, and to integrate talent from all camps into one campaign. Emphasis: integrate talent from all camps into one campaign. Ghana needs this party back, not as a wounded, quarreling organization, but as a renewed, united, serious alternative The country does not need leaders who are prisoners of their egos. It needs leaders who are servants of the Republic. To conclude, let me respectfully and humbly, but with firmness, submit to our aspirants. Your greatest legacy will not be whether you became a flag bearer. It will be whether your conduct helped preserve and strengthen this tradition and empower the mighty minority to hold this government to account, to the leadership of our party, and force these commitments fairly and firmly. To the grassroots, refuse to be used as instrument of division. Let this peace pact be more than ink and handshakes. Let it be a covenant with delegates, with this tradition, and with the people of Ghana. That is this party will be worthy of another opportunity to serve. And that, united, it will equip the mighty minority to fearlessly defend the Republic of Ghana. Thank you so much for your kind audience, and God bless our party.
Thank you very much. That was the minority leader. Would now like to invite, finally, the former president of the Republic of Ghana, a slight change in the program. We'll go ahead with the second part of the program, and His Excellency would address us after that. So I'd now like to hand over to my colleague, Richard, as he manages and takes us through the very important part of the program, the Peace Pact document. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Tibudako. Thank you all. Very supportive and very strong messages have come. Please, can we be quiet? We're still advancing, and perhaps this is the most important part of the program. So let's manage the noise. The story we are writing here today has 3 legs, and the chairman of the committee told us that, and I'd like to reiterate that before we get into the signing. The peace pact that we signed today is an indication and affirmation by the candidates that they affirm the process has been free and fair thus far. It is also an act to indicate that they are committing to accept the results of the 31st poll, and also that they are affirming and committing themselves to supporting the eventual winner of the contest, the flag bearer of our party eventually. So this is a very solemn and a very important event. And to proceed, I'd like to invite our respected aspirants to take their seats on my right, and I will invite them in the order they appear on the ballot. Our first candidate or aspirant is the Honorable Kennedy Ohene Ejapon. The second person, the Honorable Dr. Brian Achiampong. His Excellency, the former Vice President, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia. The Honorable Dr. Yao Osei Educhum. And at number 5, former General Secretary of our party, Engineer Abna Ejei Ejapon. So at this point, I would invite the chair of the committee to read the highlights of the compact that we're about to sign, and then we'll proceed to signing. Thank you very much. Media, please. So please, media, and for those who are standing up, I think we have indicated we want to have a very clean event. So please, let's minimize the disruptions, the movements, so that we can have a very clean event. Thank you very much. Chairman is on the floor.
Thank you very much. Some little guidance for the contestants. You will receive copies of the document each, and each one of you has his or her name. You will sign where your name is, the first one. Then you pass it on to the next one. Then the next person will sign his name on where you started, and it goes on to the next one, so that by the time it goes round, every one of you would have signed all the 5 copies that have been sent. Esteemed ladies and gentlemen, these are the terms of the Peace Pact. 1, acknowledgement. We acknowledge that the process has been conducted in accordance with the principles of transparency, fairness, participatory or inclusive manner, with all the presidential candidates aspirants afforded full and equal opportunity to participate at every stage. We hereby formally acknowledge and expressly affirm satisfaction that we actively participated at every level of the process. 2, acceptance of presidential election results. We commit to accepting the results of the 31st January 2026 presidential primaries for the party, and we will respect the outcome irrespective of the results. We further reiterate and pledge to accept the outcome as a valid, authentic, and binding expression of the will of the delegates and the collective decision of the party. 3, promotion of peace and cohesion. We pledge to work together to maintain peace and cohesion within the party before, during, and after the primaries. We will refrain from engaging in any actions or rhetoric that may disrupt party unity. 4, commitment. We pledge to remain committed and loyal to the New Patriotic Party, regardless of the outcome of the presidential election. We shall remain active, committed, and dedicated members of the party at all times and work hard to recapture power in 2028. 5, support for the winner. We commit to diligently and conscientiously work to support the winner of the party's presidential primaries, both during the 2028 elections and in securing a sweeping or working majority in the next Parliament of the Republic of Ghana. The support will be aimed at achieving the overall success of the New Patriotic Party. Enforcement mechanisms. Any disputes or violations of this MOU will be subject to resolution within the party's established internal dispute resolution mechanisms in accordance with the party's constitution. This MOU shall be in effect from the date of signing until after the 2028 general elections. Thank you very much. Shall we give copies to the contestants each? Kindly pass on to the next one. Each one is to get, yes. Kindly give one to each one of them, please. That's right.
Address that, explain multiple.
We commit to accepting God in the sense.
So that I should repeat it or how? But one also. Should I come over?
One of the candidates.
We will address the media.
Chairman, this is one of the signs.
No, this is your
Please, too much noise. We have leadership with
We have
us.
to do the witnessing.
Yes. So, please, ladies and gentlemen, we have leadership in the room. Let's keep the noise down. DJ, please, can you turn down the music, please? Thank you. There's too much noise. Please. We can do this in quiet. Following the signing by the aspirants, we have a list of witnesses who would also sign. The witnesses include His Excellency, the former President John Agyekum Kufuor, who will sign his portion later because he's not able to be with us today. The former President, His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, who the country misses, will sign as a witness. The acting chair of our party, Mr. Dankwa Smith-Bute, would sign as a witness. The General Secretary of the party, Mr. Justin Kodia Frimpong, will sign also as a witness. The Chair of the Council of Elders, the Honorable Dr. Hackman Owusu Ajiman, will also sign as a witness. The former First Lady, the former Chief of Staff, our mother, the Honorable Akosia Frema Osei Opare, who is the Chair of Council of Patrons, will also sign as a witness. And last but not least, the indefatigable Honorable Alexander Apenyo Markins will sign also as a witness. No, Mark. After the signing by the various witnesses that have been announced, the chair of the Presidential Election Committee will lead the affirmation again for all the candidates, and then will present a copy to each of them. That will follow shortly. Please indulge us. We are attempting to sign all of it and everybody to sign because the live copy will be presented to the candidates right here and we must make sure they're all signed. So please, in a few minutes, we'll all be done.
Live pictures from the Alisa Hotel here in Accra, where the new patriotic party, the NPP, is currently organizing a program where all 5 presidential aspirants are signing a peace pact ahead of the party's January 31st presidential primaries to elect who will lead the party going to the election of 2028. This particular event, put together by the National Elections Committee of the party, seeks to bring unity and commit the aspirants to unity before, during, and after the 31st January presidential primary. A number of speakers, raised a number of issues. The minority leader in Ghana's parliament, Alexander Apenyo Markins, who is present at this event, spoke about the need for the NPP to unite to recapture political power in the 2028 general election. The Inspector General of Police, Christian Tessignon, who is also present, and he gave a firm assurance that indeed the Ghana Police Service is ready to ensure that there's security before, during, and after the election on January 31st. He says that, or indeed he warned the political party, which is the NPP or any of the presidential aspirants, not to come to the centers with macho men, and that the police people are more macho than them. Let's go back and hear what the Director of Communications for the party, Richard Hengba, is saying.
Worked with you to the extent that none of you has an issue with the work we have done. We are handing over the rest of the election to two national institutions which we each have confidence in. However, if there is evidence at any polling station that anything was done or tolerated that affects the integrity of the election at that polling station, we will take steps to annul the results from that polling station. That assurance, on behalf of the committee, I want to give it to you. We gave that assurance before the Electoral Commission. The EC chair herself said so, that if there's any evidence brought to her to show that any misconduct has affected the integrity of any particular poll, that particular poll will be annulled. So be assured, if you see anything that you think affects, please bring it to our attention. We'll investigate, and if we affirm, we will take the necessary steps to protect the integrity of the election. Thank you very much. We are very grateful.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. So the process is almost done. The chair will present the signed copies to the candidates, signifying their commitment and affirmation that the process thus far has been free and fair, and that they have committed themselves to accepting the results of the 31st elections, and that they have committed themselves to support the eventual winner of the polls. Thank you very much. That was a beautiful exercise. They stand today as competitors, but their presence here and act shows that they are committed to the higher act and duty of protecting peace and unity of our party. Thank you very much. I'll invite Dr. Tibudako to carry on with the rest of the program.
Thank you very much. Please, the photographers, can you move back a little bit? And if we can have some silence, we'd now like to invite the former president of the Republic of Ghana, our own Nana Addo Akufo-Addo.
Acting chairman of our great party, minority leader in parliament, the Inspector General of Police, the former Chief of Staff, members of the National Peace Council, members of the National Executive Committee of the party, the chairman and members of the Presidential Election Committee, distinguished presidential aspirants, chairman of the Council of Elders, honorable elders, and members of the party, fellow patriots, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for the invitation, and I'm honored to be here at a moment that is significant, not only for the new patriotic party, but also for Ghana's democratic journey. Let me begin by congratulating our national officers, the chairman and members of the Presidential Election Committee, and all who have worked diligently to organize these primaries coming up in just 9 days' time. You are overseeing a process involving the largest number of delegates in the history of our party. That achievement speaks to the growth, depth, and democratic maturity of the new patriotic party. We're gratified by the presence of the Inspector General of Police and his senior officers at this ceremony, and by the undertakings he has given us today. They are reassuring signals that the proceedings of 31st January 2026 will be conducted in peace and security. IGP, we count on you and your men and women to do a good job. Ladies and gentlemen, our party did not begin today, even though a handful of us were privileged enough to be around in its early days. It did not begin yesterday. Its roots go back to 1947, with the formation of the United Gold Coast Convention, UGCC, from which the Dankwa Dombo Busia tradition proudly draws its lineage. At that founding moment, a clear and principled decision was taken. Leadership will be determined by the ballot, not by force, intimidation, or intrigue. George Alfred Park Grant was unanimously elected president and chairman. J.P. Dankwa and R.S. Blay became vice presidents. R.A. Awona Williams served as treasurer. The other members of that inaugural executive committee were Edward Akufo-Addo, Emmanuel Obeche Bilante, J.W. de Graaf Johnson, John Sybil, and Kwabena Kesu. They were men of strong views and strong personalities, but they were united by discipline, mutual respect, patriotism, and an unshakable belief in orderly democratic process. From that beginning emerged a lesson that still guides us today. While the ballot must decide who becomes what, the true test of our internal democracy lies in the conduct of winners and losers alike, before, during, and after the contest. That lesson was reaffirmed in 1992 after the first presidential primaries of the New Patriotic Party. Once the party chose Professor Albert Eduboahene as our flag bearer, all the other aspirants, including Dr. Kofi Jane Selby, Mr. John Ajekum Kufuor, and Dr. Kwame Safwedu, closed ranks and supported him. I was campaign manager of the flag bearer at the time, and I saw firsthand what unity meant, how discipline, sacrifice, and collective purpose strengthened the party, even under the most difficult conditions of the time. That spirit must guide us still. Fellow patriots, a party that cannot manage victory with humility or defeat with dignity cannot expect to win the confidence of the Ghanaian people. As we are reminded, a house divided against itself cannot stand. In such a house is certainly not attractive to the electorate. Ghanaians are watching not only what we say, but also how we behave. I know the campaign has generated some heat among aspirants and supporters. I believe I'm qualified to say that we have seen it all before. Do not be discouraged by the excesses. The thirst for power and the unity required to win power must combine to motivate us to choose fraternity over factionalism once the primaries are over. Permit me another personal reflection. In 1998, I contested the presidential primaries and came second to John Ajekum Kufuor, subsequently the second president of the Fourth Republic. When the contest ended, I did not hesitate. I became his chief campaigner. That decision was not about convenience. It was about conviction. The unity we demonstrated then helped deliver the first historic presidential victory of the NPP in 2000. And when years later, it became my turn, beginning in 2008, I received the same level of loyalty and support from those who had once competed against me. That tradition of fraternity carried us through difficult moments and enabled us to win and serve God. This is the inheritance we must protect. We should never forget that the ideology of the new patriotic party remains deeply attractive to the majority of Ghanaians. Our commitment to individual liberty and the respect for human rights, private enterprise, the rule of law, human development in a society of shared prosperity resonates across this country. When we falter, it is rarely because our ideas have failed. This peace pact, this commitment pact, is therefore not a mere ceremony. It is a solemn covenant, a commitment that ambition will not override fraternity, that competition will not descend into hostility, and that once the ballot has spoken, the party will move forward as one. To the aspirants gathered here today, your conduct will shape the moral tone of the NPP and the future of our country. Your supporters, the grassroots, and the youth of this party are watching you. History will judge not only who wins, but also how all of you conduct yourselves. Let me be clear. The NPP is bigger than any individual. No ambition, grievance, or faction is greater than the elephant. Leadership contests must never weaken the collective cause. Unity is not optional. Unity is not a slogan. Unity is a strategic necessity for victory. So I charge all of you, this peace pact must not only be signed, it must be lived. Over the remaining days, let your campaigns be firm but fair, competitive but respectful. Ours is a tradition that rejects fear, insults, intimidation, and bitterness. Loyalty to individuals must never supersede loyalty to the party. After the primaries, there must be one party, one direction, one destiny. Let me end with confidence on a positive note. I have no doubt that the new patriotic party remains the best vehicle with the best ideas for Ghana's future. Our duty is to keep that vehicle united, disciplined, and worthy of the trust of the Ghanaian people. If we honor our history, respect one another, and put party and country above self, the future of the NPP and of Ghana herself will indeed be bright. I thank you, and I wish us all a peaceful, dignified, and unified process. May God bless the NPP and our homeland Ghana, and make both great and strong. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. The chairperson for the event, our acting national chairman, would now give us the closing remarks.
Excellency, the former President, thank you so much. IGP, Peace Council, Council of Elders, my executives, my party members present, aspirants, Presidential Election Committee, ladies and gentlemen, I'm so happy today for hearing what the IGP said, meaning there will be peace during and after the elections. Thank you, IGP. I wish all the 5 aspirants best of luck. I know Saturday coming will be the day of the elections, and you know that one of you will become the winner. And as my father said, we are one party. We don't have any party apart from NPP, New Patriotic Party. I thank you, all of you, for coming. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Chairman. Before the closing prayer, we'd just like to take the official photographs so that we are able to do that in an organized manner. Because we have dignitaries here, and we know that if we do the closing prayer, there will be confusion because then we've ended. So we just ask for the next 5 minutes, we'll take official photographs, we'll say the closing prayer, and then we can finish with the media press briefing. So we'd like to invite the 5 aspirants to stand up. Please say where you are. And yes, please. I'll give the mic to the chairperson of the General Secretary to tell us the manner in which everyone is standing for the photos.
So what we do is that we ask the aspirants to come in front and hold your hands. Please, we want you to stand in front of the table and hold your hands. Yes, you can stand in front of us, and here, in front of us. Then you face the camera. Please move back. Please move back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then you hold your hands. You hold your hands. You hold your hands. Photographers can take the pictures. So continue to do where you are. Ask our revered dignitaries on the high table to join the aspirants whilst we take a group picture. So please let's join the aspirants. Let's join them.
Also, police in this. Also, IGP.
So the IDP, the Peace Council,
These are the aspirants and the witnesses. Now invite the National Peace Council and the IGP to join us.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much. The Council of Elders. Presidential Elections Committee will come next. Please get ready. Council of Elders. Photographers, please hold on. Thank you very much. Please, I invite the Presidential Elections Committee to join us. Presidential Elections Committee, thank you very much, Council of Elders. And after that, finally, national officers, please get ready. The Presidential Elections Committee.
Live pictures from the Alisa Hotel here in Accra, where the New Patriotic Party just a while ago committed all 5 presidential aspirants for the party's presidential primaries on January 31st to sign a peace pact to commit to peace before, during, and after the elections on the 31st of January 2020. As you're aware, as this Saturday, the next one, the NPP will elect a new leader who will lead the party going to the election of 2028. The party's National Elections Committee, the committee mandated to ensure that the election is run successfully, held this particular event to commit all 5 presidential aspirants to peace ahead of the presidential primaries. Former President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo was present. Former Speaker of Parliament, Professor Michael Okwe, the Inspector General of Police, Christian Tetenyahu, was present, made a statement that the police is ever ready and prepared to ensure that there is peace before, during, and after the presidential primaries. This particular event is one of the biggest ones as far as the NPP election calendar is concerned. And the party believes that the party needs unity going to the election of 2028. As you just heard, the minority leader, Alexander Peño Markin, say there that the NPP must remain united so the party can wrestle political power from the NDC in the 2028 general election. So live pictures you are seeing there from the Alisa Hotel here in Accra, where the NPP has just signed a peace pact with all 5 presidential aspirants, talking about Kennedy Ohini Ejapon, Dr. Brian Echampon, also Dr. Mahamadou Bawumia, Dr. Yao Osei Educhum, and Engineer Kwabna Eje Ejapon. These are the 5 aspirants who are seeking to lead the NPP going into the election of 2028. The chairman of the National Elections Planning Committee, former Deputy Speaker of Parliament, Joe Osewusu, the former Member of Parliament for the Bekwai constituency, says over 200,000 delegates will on Saturday, January 31st, be voting to elect who will lead the party or the NPP going to the election of 2028. This has been our live coverage of this all-important Peace Pact that the party's National Election Committee held just a while ago at the Alisa Hotel. We'll go back to the Alisa Hotel where my colleague Jude Mensah Duncan was there giving us coverage as far as this event is concerned. Let's engage him to get an atmosphere as for this signing, the demeanor, the supporters who came with these various aspirants, how they are taking this whole process. Jude, if you can hear me, thank you very much for your time. What has been the atmosphere after signing this particular Peace Pact? We're trying to establish contact with Jude Mensah Duncan, my colleague here at ChannelOne Television, who is currently at the Alisa Hotel, where the NPP just a while ago signed a peace pact with all 5 presidential aspirants, hoping to lead the party going to the election of 2028. As you're aware, on the 31st of January, just some 9 days away, the party will elect who will lead it to the election of 2028. 5 individuals, as I mentioned earlier, have put their foot forward to be elected as presidential candidates for the party. We are told that over 211,000 delegates of the New Patriotic Party will be voting across the country. The party says it is setting up 277 polling stations across the country where elections will take place on Saturday. The party headquarters will also be a polling station where national officers, Council of Elders members will vote during this election on Saturday, the 31st of January. And so the party says that the Ghana Police Service will be the people in charge of security. The IGP said that 70 police personnel will be dispatched at least to every voting center. Every voting center, you have at least 70 police personnel there to ensure that there's peace before, during, and after the process. Over 211,000 delegates of the party will be voting come this election on Saturday, the 31st of January. The National Elections Committee says it has met the Electoral Commission, is handed all the process to the Electoral Commission as far as this election is concerned. The National Election Committee has done a good job according to the chairman of the committee, and this the outcome of election will be accepted by all. Let's go back to the Alisa Hotel. Let's speak to Jude Mensah Duncan to tell us the impressions after the signing of this peace pact. Jude, if you can hear me, thank you very much for your time. What has been the reaction among the aspirants themselves and their supporters who came there with them as far as this signing is concerned?
The aspirants were here. They were.
Hello, Jude.
They promised to abide by it. What are your reflections from today's event, sir?
Hello, Jude.
Well, I hope that people have learned useful lessons. We need to have the party together once the events are concluded. And I hope to God that they all resolve to abide by what happened today. We may have our own disagreements. We have our disagreements because we have individual orientations.
Yeah.
However, the party's interest should inform all of us in whatever endeavor that we embark on. And we should be truthful to ourselves, we should be truthful to the party, and move on. Because after all, when we finish, we need everybody together.
Finally, we heard the former president speak. He said the party has been there before, and the party will come out again. We've seen some very harsh words being used in the campaign. How convinced are you that, again, the NPP will rise above this going into election 2028?
The former president said that we've been there before, and we ought to learn useful lessons from where we've been before and lift ourselves up. We don't have to repeat the same mistakes. So we should be able to rise above what has happened and move the party's agenda forward.
Thank you so much for your time, sir. So they had the Oseche Mensah Bonsu, who also is a senior campaign aide to the former Vice President, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Now he's convinced that despite the vitriol and some harsh words seen in the course of the campaign, the New Patriotic Party would rise again to the occasion as it gears towards the 31st January presidential election, and subsequently election 2028. So we've seen the IGP. Hello, IGP, thank you. We saw your very strong words today. The people want to just hear from you. You've mentioned how ready the police are going into this election. What should we expect from the police finally for those who couldn't follow your previous speech earlier today?
No, we are very hopeful from the Peace Pact that everybody will comport themselves, and then this election will go on very peacefully.
Interesting. You mentioned that Boku is the only place the police won't be. Have you received correspondence from the military? So the police will be there with the military. Earlier you said that it was only the military who was going to take over.
No.
So you will be
all of us, yes, together.
Interesting.
Yes, you also want the support of the military in Boku.
Interesting. You also mentioned that the military will be on standby. You mentioned that 70 personnel will be dotted across all the stations. Minimum of 70. So how many of the military will be stationed around?
We have given it to them to decide. They will decide the number of people that will stand by. But that is the usual practice. Okay.
Thank you. So the IGP Tete Yohonu, helping us or giving some more clarity to his earlier address. He's now taking his leave. As you can see in the shot, he mentioned during his brief address that about 70, or let me say a minimum of 70 police personnel will be stationed at the various election centers. After which, no, I'm joined by William Yamwa, who is secretary to the Presidential Election Committee. He's also going to share a few words with us. Mr. Yamwa, thank you so much. It seems a very successful event. Is this what you wanted as a Presidential Election Committee?
Yes, of course, that is our expectation, and indeed God has been faithful and truthful to us, and then we've had a very colorful event. A true reflection of the tenet of the New Patriotic Party. Discipline is our hallmark.
Going forward, many have described the campaign as very harsh in terms of the words used by presidential candidates. Are you convinced this will put an end to it?
Yes, of course, end to it.
And what are some of the sanctions should anybody still go back to some of the things we've seen in the campaign?
Is going to refrain from it, so there's no need to prescribe sanctions, and I know we're going to have a very colorful and successful election come January 31st.
Thank you so much for your time, sir. So you heard William Yamwa, who is General Secretary for the Presidential Election Committee for the New Patriotic Party. So currently your shot is the candidate, Dr. Brian Champo.
All our senior statesmen were here, senior party people were here, Council of Elders, patrons. I think it's our understanding, and personally my understanding, is this goes beyond the formality. This is something that we have to do as party people who have had the opportunity to contest on the ticket of the party as presidential aspirants. And so when you're giving the platform, you have to respect the platform. You have to respect the ethos of the party and that of politics. And it is one that I'm hoping that if my opponents lose to me and my good self, which I expect them to lose to me, they will all support me. But in a very, very unlikely event that I don't emerge the victor, I will also support whoever wins the election in the hopes that that person will campaign hard for him to win the 2028 elections.
Many have described the election as very vitriolic in terms of the commentary used by some of the candidates in the build-up to the election. Are you convicted that this would bring an end to all of the tense moments in the election?
But I don't agree with the vitriolic statement that you have made. I don't think.
People have been called liars.
But I'm saying, largely, these elections in the last 6 months has been very, very civil. Of course, one or two people may slip, but that will not mar, or you cannot qualify the whole elections as one that is vitriolic. It is not. It has been largely civil, 99.99% civil. The aspirants have conducted themselves. There has been some one or two slippages here and there from other aspirants, but those ones can pass. But on the whole, this campaign has been very, very, very civil and decorous.
Are you minded as a party to also bring on board some senior members of the party who have gone haywire in terms of their public commentary? Your party has been described as fake. Do you think an arm should be stretched to some of these persons who have said very mean things about your party?
This is a party that gained 6.7 million votes when we came to power. Which part of that is fake? I mean, let's move on with some of these isolated commentary and rebuild our party towards winning the 2028 election. Some of those unfortunate comments can be overlooked.
Should the party reach out to them rather than trying to expel them, as we've seen the General Secretary say?
I mean, those are internal processes. If they are party people who have made some comments, the party has internal processes to deal with them. Let's see the outcome of those processes.
Dr. Champo, are you winning this election?
Hands down.
How convinced are you?
Hands down. I mean, I'm saying hands down. You will see.
What gives you this confidence, right?
I've been around the country. I've campaigned very hard in the last 4 months. I'm the first person to have finished my campaign to start a mop-up in some regions of this country. I've been in elections since but I'm saying I've been in elections since 1992. If you will win, you know. If you will lose, you know. And if you have to fear delegates too, you know. I mean, I know what's going on, and I know that God is going to give me a big win next weekend.
Should you not win, are you saying that you are going to abide by the dictates of the pact you've signed today?
I have said this up 10 times, that is what politicians do. And this is not fake. If you lose an election, you support the victor. But in this case, I'm praying, and I know that all those who are going to lose the elections, the 4 others, will support me in the 2028 elections. Thank you very much.
Thank you too for your time. So you just said that Dr. Brandon Champon, he says he's confident he's going to win the election, and he's done enough work on the grounds which suggests same. He's also called on his fellow candidates to also accept the dictates of the pact that has been signed today. He also talks about the fact that the work of the Presidential Election Committee is satisfactory. So it's been an interesting day. We had some speakers throughout the ceremony. It started off with the chairman for the Presidential Elections Committee, Joseph Osei-Owusu, former member of parliament for Bekwai, who opened up the events today and spoke about the work the Presidential Election Committee has done in regard to today's signing of the Presidential Candidates Pact and also the 31st January